Okay, this next short video is on about storage and spillage of pesticides. So pesticides must be stored safely and legally. Pesticides potentially contain hazardous substances, so it is important that they are stored in a way that reduces risk. If they are not stored safely, you can put yourself at risk, you can put the environment at risk, and you could be breaking the law. HSE provides detailed guidance on how to store pesticides safely. All pesticides should be stored in their original containers with the approved product labels. All stores should be designed to prevent leakage or spillage, constructed of non-combustible material and secure against unauthorised access, and marked with a suitable warning sign. Good practice in managing a pesticide store will reduce risk. Do not keep unapproved or unwanted pesticides in the store. Remove waste packaging and dispose of it safely and legally. Use the older stock first. Powders should be stored above liquids. Have an up-to-date stock record easily available. Do not leave stores open when unattended. Store PPE separately from pesticides so it cannot be contaminated. Keep a list of emergency numbers in the store where it can be easily seen. You must only store pesticides in the original container with the approved product label. Return all unused concentrated pesticide to the store. If you have mixed a pesticide with another substance, such as an adjuvant, you should use the mixture as soon as possible. You should only have enough mixture to use in a day. If you need to store it for longer, you must make sure it is labelled properly and stored safely and securely. Make sure that your store has equipment to deal with contamination, spills and small fires. Extra precautions need to be taken when storing particularly dangerous chemicals such as gassing compounds or oxidizing agents. These may need to be segregated from other pesticides. You might find it helpful to keep records of all the contents of your pesticides or chemical store. This is not compulsory, but records will help with stock rotation and control. Using up older stocks first to avoid deterioration. Give an accurate list of contents if there is an emergency. Help avoid overstocking. Help make sure there are no unapproved or unwanted pesticides in the store. Keep a copy of the current stock list away from the store itself. Okay, so this is just a bit of a quiz. If you just have a look at that and try and put the correct words in the text passage. So if you want to do that in your own time later on. All pesticides must be transported safely to where they will be applied. If you store pesticides in vehicles, on equipment used to apply pesticides, or in Bowsers, they are in a mobile store. Mobile stores should be stocked from a fixed store, only used temporarily, normally less than 24 hours. If you need to use mobile storage for more than 24 hours, you should make sure your store meets the highest standards for fixed stores. Park your mobile store away from places where a spill could cause water pollution. Make sure you lock the vehicle or cabinet when you are not around. Never carry pesticides in a cab or a tractor, self-propelled machines or other vehicles. Use either a vehicle with a bulkhead between the cab and the load compartment, a secure enclosed chemical container, or a secure cabinet mounted on the outside of the vehicle. You may have extra legal responsibilities if you transport pesticide marked toxic, flammable or corrosive. Gassing compounds should be stored in a separate, vapour-proof container secured in the load compartment. Spillages and leaking containers can present a significant risk to yourself, others and the environment. For leaking containers, you must do one of the following things. Use the contents immediately. Pour the contents into an empty container that is good condition and originally held the same product. Make sure the label is not damaged. Put the leaking container into a large container, label with the product name, the hazard classification and risk, and the safety phrases on the product label. Never put any pesticide into an empty food or drink container. If you spill any pesticide as a concentrate, ready to use product or spray solution, no matter how small the spill is, you should never hose it down. Keep people and animals away from the area. Wear protective PPE to avoid being contaminated. Prevent further spillage immediately, e.g. use an emergency folding pool. For liquids, put absorbent material such as cat litter or dry sand around the spill and use more of it to soak up the spillage. You can then sweep it up. The material you use should be inert. This means it must not cause any chemical reaction. Sweep up any solids as gently as possible without raising dust. Then sprinkle the area with inert absorbent material and sweep again. Keep the negative effect of a pesticide spillage as low as possible by carrying a spill kit and knowing how to use it. Having a diagram of your drainage systems so you can prevent spilt pesticides entering water. As a priority, contain the spilt material so it cannot enter surface water, ditches and drains. Spills and water. If the spill contaminates water or could contaminate water later or contaminates large amounts of soil, you should tell the Environment Agency. If a spill enters a sewage system, you must tell the local water company. Disposal after spillage. Some of the waste from a spill will be hazardous. You should arrange to dispose of waste from dealing with spills or leaks through a licensed waste disposal contractor. Okay, so this is a bit of a quiz if you want to have a look in your own time. So, just give you the four what you can put in order. I'm not putting them in order, so just have a look and you match them up. And again, do the same for these three. I'll just make it so you can see all three. So have a go at just putting them in all in order. Okay, question. A pesticide store should be 100 metres away from any other building, contain any PP required, be secure to prevent authorised access. So we'll go for be secured. Pesticides should be stored in their original containers with the approved label, in the order they were purchased, in alphabetical order at under 100, so I'm going to go for in their original containers. If you have mixed a pesticide with an adjuvant, you should store it in the original container with the approved label. Use the mixture as soon as possible. Dispose of it all, you need to keep it in a mobile store. Put use as soon as possible. Dangerous chemicals such as oxidizing agents should be stored in their packaging until needed, registered with HSE, kept separately from other pesticides, kept on a high shelf. There we go, kept separately. Keeping a record of the contents of your store is a legal requirement, saves time and money, is essential for security, helps with stock rotation. I'm going to go for, could be a few of these, but I'm going to go for saves time and money. No. Helps stop rotation. Yeah. Okay. A mobile store should not normally be used for more than 3 days, should not normally be used for more than 24 hours, must meet the same standards as a fixed store, can help be used for up to 2 weeks with permission from the HSE. So it should be not, so it's the second one. What could you do if you have a leaking container? So you could put the pesticide into any other secure and clean container. Put a warning sign on the container. Put the pesticide into a label container that held the same product. So it's that one. If you spill some pesticide, you should hose down the area immediately. Report it to the HSE. Prevent further spillage immediately. Carry out a cost assessment. So I'm going to put prevent further spillage. To deal with a spillage of liquid pesticide, you should cover it with cloth or paper to soak up the spillage. Put inert absorbent material around the spill to soak up the spillage. Brush it into a bucket and dispose of it safely. Add water, so put inert absorbent. Okay, last one. How should you dispose of waste from dealing with spills in an incinerator? Washing any contaminated material and place it in a secure bin through a licensed waste, so it's definitely that one. Okay, so that ends this exercise, so we'll move on to the next one.